Good evening. Paul Sheldon and his staff are honored and privileged to conduct this Medicare webinar on behalf of Valley Strong Credit Union. Thank you, Valley Strong. Paul has resided in Bakersfield since 1957. He graduated from Cal State University, Bakersfield with a BA and teaching credential in Spanish. Paul holds postgraduate degrees as a chartered financial consultant and chartered life underwriter from the American College, Pennsylvania. Paul began his insurance career at Walter Mortensen Insurance in Bakersfield in 1984 and started his own agency in 1986, which he continues to own and manage today. Paul's agency specializes in Medicare supplements, Part D drug plans, long-term care insurance, life insurance, and group health insurance plans. Paul is a past president of the Rotary Club of Bakersfield and a past board chairman of the Salvation Army of Bakersfield. His hobbies include playing piano and bass guitar. Paul is also a certified 4th degree black belt. Paul is blessed to be married to Nisi, his wife of 40 years, and is a father of his 3 sons, Drew, Derek, and Taylor, the finest 3 sons that any dad could ask for. Paul is also blessed to have Christine Humes, Lynn Smith, Kelly Van Horn, and Neslie Williamson as his hard-working, indispensable assistants.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Paul Sheldon, your host for this evening. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to participate in this webinar. I said participate because those of you who would like to ask questions along the way, you'll notice on the bottom right-hand side of your screen that there is an icon, a Q&A icon, that you can ask questions at any time during the presentation, and I will be answering your questions personally at the end of the presentation. And my goal is to leave a lot of time at the end of the presentation to be able to answer the questions for as many of those who want to ask questions along the way. And if your question is real detailed, we recommend that you make a note. In the upper left-hand corner of the screen, you will see our phone number and office email address. You can jot down that information right now if you like to, so that if you enjoy this presentation and decide you would like to meet with us, you can call us or email us to request an appointment. We will complete an abbreviated questionnaire, and life is wonderful. We'll be able to get your ducks in a row for you very easily and give you a roadmap that will let you know exactly what you need to do and by when you need to do it with respect to all things Medicare. So without any further ado, let's get started. The title of our presentation, as it says on your screen, Medicare to Change or Not to Change, Considerations for the 2022 Medicare Annual Election Period. Speaking of election, hopefully most or all of you voted today. If not, you'll have about half an hour or so to get out and vote after our presentation. Our goal is to be done by maybe a little before 6:30. And we do want to leave time for adequate questions or answers to your questions. And as you can see at the very bottom, it does say an educational presentation. The purpose of this presentation is not a marketing presentation. We are not here to market any products at all, name any insurance companies at all, but strictly stick to the objective subject of Medicare and make it a little palatable, maybe have a little fun along the way. So let's get started. So speaking of changes, our first question is toward the bottom middle question. What is the Medicare Open Enrollment Period, also known as the Medicare Annual Election Period, the AEP? Answer: the period each year between October 15th, which is right around the corner, just about a month away now, through December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day. Thank you to all you vets out there who may be listening, or to the parents of vets or the siblings of vets and those who have given their life for our country as well. During this period of time, you can make several changes regarding all four parts of Medicare, A, B, C, and D. Those are the only parts of Medicare. I just lied to you intentionally. There's a little known part of Medicare called Medicare Part E, as in Edward, which actually references a Medicare supplement, or also known as a Medigap plan. The upper right-hand side, the act of changing is similar to the act of swallowing. Why? Because both can be beneficial or detrimental to your health. You can swallow things that are good for you or swallow poison. Likewise, during the Medicare Open Enrollment Period, you can do things that are in your best interest, but you can also do things that may harm you. Next question. To which people does the Medicare Open Enrollment, to which people does the Medicare Open Enrollment pertain? Well, you can see there are a total of, actually, we can't see all 9 of them for some reason. I don't know why that is, but there are actually a total of 9 people here, and I only see 8 of them. There's a guy on the right that just has the letter A. So there are actually a total of 9 combinations of the parts of Medicare. All these different parts. So you can do things with any of these parts depending on your circumstance. So the question here is, to which people does the Medicare Open Enrollment Period pertain? Answer: the Medicare Open Enrollment Period pertains to those who already have 1 or more parts of Medicare, although those who initially get Medicare in October, November, or December can also make changes during the Medicare Open Enrollment Period. So that last sentence, those who initially get Medicare in October, November, or December, that means if you will turn 65, for example, this October, November, or December, your Medicare effective date would be the 1st of October or 1st of November or 1st of December, unless your birthday happens to be on the 1st of the month, in which case your Medicare effective date, believe it or not, thanks to our federal government, who sometimes doesn't think very clearly, in my opinion. If your birthday, for example, is October 1st, your Medicare effective date would be a month earlier, September 1st. If it's November 1st, your Medicare effective date would be October 1st. But assuming that your Medicare effective date is the 2nd of the month all the way to the end of the month, then let's say, for example, your birthday is October 3rd. Well, not only would your Medicare initial enrollment date be October 1st, the 1st of the month in which you turn 65, but you could also make changes to your drug plan, which starts October 1st. You can make a change for the year 2022, as long as you do so by no later than the end of the day, December 7th. I hope that was a little clearer than mud. Let's go to the next slide. Question: what is the meaning of each of the 4 parts of Medicare, A, B, C, and D? Well, let's take them one at a time. Part A, when you think of Part A, just think of receiving any type of services or treatment as an inpatient in any type of a facility. Also, there's a small portion of home care, home health care, and hospice that are also covered by Medicare Part A. So Medicare Part A covers all your inpatient care, and we name all those things there. It also has to do with home health care that is followed by 3 days of hospitalization or a skilled nursing facility, which can be included in a hospital, or it can be a standalone facility, and home health care services. All the home health care services, in order to receive coverage under Part A for your home health care services must begin within 14 days after you are discharged from a hospital. Part B is the second part of Medicare, which covers all things that have to do with not staying overnight. So everything mentioned there, everything from doctor's visits to diagnostic procedures, that would include x-rays, MRIs, CAT scans, PET scans, lab work, all that stuff that has to do with not staying overnight. Now, you'll notice at the bottom of that paragraph, it also names some things like infused drugs, certain oral cancer medications, and certain drugs injected not by you, but rather by a doctor in a clinic or a doctor's office. It doesn't have to be a doctor, it can be a nurse or any other healthcare professional in a doctor's office or clinic. All right, Part C is the third part of Medicare, also known as Medicare Advantage. That was a name that was changed. Actually, in 1997 is when Part C was introduced, and it was called Medicare Plus Choice back in 1997. Rick Santorum was one individual, some of you may remember, who spearheaded the Medicare Part C, also known as Medicare Plus Choice, in 1997, and then had a name change in 2003 to Medicare Advantage. Medicare Advantage, this is kind of a funny part of Medicare because when you are covered by a Medicare Advantage plan, you are not covered by Medicare Parts A and B. In other words, the insurance company that you have your Medicare Advantage plan with, whether it be Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, Kaiser, United Healthcare, Health Net, Aetna, Brand New Day, whoever it happens to be, is taking the place of Medicare Parts A and B. And then continuing Medicare Part C, when you have Medicare Part C, you never use your Medicare card when you go to the doctor or any other provider, but rather you only present your Part C, that is Medicare Advantage ID card. In other words, you are only covered by the insurance company through which you have your Part C plan. You are not covered by Medicare Parts A and B. So when you elect Medicare Part C, that is a Medicare Advantage plan, you temporarily forfeit Parts A and B, but you do not forfeit having to pay the Medicare Part B premium. So Parts A and B hibernate until when and if you wish to resurrect them. We're going to see more about that on the next page. Now, by the way, let's take a look at that last paragraph on that page. It says, when you elect Part C, you temporarily forfeit Parts A and B, but you do not forfeit paying the Part B premium. What about the Part A premium? Well, the vast majority of people, about 95% of all people, do not have a premium for Part A. Why is that? It's because every year you have been self-employed or employed, you've been paying Medicare taxes. As long as you've paid Medicare taxes for a minimum of 10 years over your lifetime, you will not have to pay any premium for Medicare Part A. Why? Because every single paycheck you've ever received over your lifetime in which you've been employed or self-employed, on your pay stub, there's a line that says Medicare and there's a tax. Well, all of those taxes that you've been paying all of these years have only been going to prepay Medicare Part A. So as long as you've worked a minimum of 10 years over your lifetime, even part-time 10 years, not just full-time, you will have no premium for Medicare Part A, but you are not so lucky with Medicare Part B. Everybody has a premium for Medicare Part B, which is based on their so-called modified adjusted gross income. Now, I just lied to you intentionally again, because there's one group of people who will not have a premium for Medicare Part B. Those are people who are at or below or a little bit above the federal poverty level. Whoop. There we go. So Part C plans are composed, marketed, and administered by private insurance companies. There are currently over a dozen Part C, that is Medicare Advantage plans, offered in Kern County by about 8 to 10 insurance companies or healthcare organizations like Kaiser. Kaiser is technically not an insurance company. Part C plans must provide coverage. Now, here's a very important phrase, that is on average at least as or more comprehensive than Medicare Parts A and B. So what does that mean on average? For example, original Medicare Parts A and B, that Parts A and B are called also original Medicare because they were the first two parts of Medicare when Medicare was implemented in July of 1966, signed by LBJ. Harry and Betsy Truman were the first two people to sign up for Medicare. Well, so Medicare Parts A and B have deductibles and they have co-pays and co-insurance. By the way, what's the difference between a co-pay and co-insurance? A co-pay is a dollar amount. coinsurance is a percentage that you pay on any type of health plan, including Medicare. So Medicare Parts A and B have deductibles, they have copays, they have all this other stuff. So you're going to find that on a lot of these, in fact, most Medicare Advantage plans, that you'll have very low copays, like $5 or $10, maybe even zero. Well, Medicare doesn't have zero copays for your office visits, but a lot of the Medicare Advantage plans have zero copays. How can that be if the Medicare Part C, that is Medicare Advantage plans, have to pay benefits that are at least as good, if not better, than original Medicare? Well, here's what happens. Medicare Advantage plans can offer better benefits for some areas of your coverage, much better than what Medicare offers. But other areas, for example, skilled nursing, you'll customarily see, and ambulance coverage, the benefits are not as good as original Medicare. So there are trade-offs. So the key is, on average, the Medicare Part C, Medicare Advantage plans must provide coverage that is on average at least as comprehensive or more comprehensive than Medicare. Okay, so then the bottom part of this slide says Part C is not only a bona fide part of Medicare, but also a plan unto itself. So C is both a part and a plan. Most Part C plans include embedded in them Medicare Part D, which is their drug plan, Medicare drug plan. All of the, to my knowledge, all of the Medicare Part C, Medicare Advantage plans in Kern County include Medicare Part D drug coverage. Okay, so let's see here. Whoops, let me go back. Okay, did I skip one? No, I didn't. Okay, so here we go. So the part of the Medicare Modernization Act of 2003, which was implemented in 2006. So in this Medicare Drug Improvement Modernization Act of 2003, Medicare Part D is not only a bona fide part of Medicare, but it is also a plan unto itself. Since D, that is Part D, is both a part and a plan, it does not need a plan to supplement itself. So that's kind of a fancy way of saying, let me show you this. So here is my Medicare Part D drug plan. So let me show you a couple other things first. This is my Medicare plan, Parts A and B. The third part of Medicare, Part C, is a part that I do not have. I have chosen not to have Medicare Part C, that is a Medicare Advantage plan. So I only have Medicare Parts A and B, original Medicare, Part A for all my inpatient coverage, Part B for all my outpatient coverage. And I don't have Part C, so we're going to skip over C. I decided kind of to throw Part C out the window. That's just me. I have a Part D standalone drug plan. That's what Medicare's name is for a drug plan. This is my drug plan. You know how many drug plans there are in Kern County? And in California, not just Kern County, but all counties in California. There are 32 of these guys. So how in the world do you know which drug plan is best for you? This is kind of a sidestep off the line of our, out of the realm of our presentation here. How in the world do you know which of the 32 Medicare drug plans is the one that will allow you to spend the least amount out of your pocket for what? For the combination of your plan premium, your plan deductible, if indeed there even is a deductible with your plan. Sometimes, usually there is a deductible, but some plans do not have a deductible. So the premium plus the deductible plus your copays, those three things added together, aggregated together, determine which drug plan is the one that's going to allow you to spend the least amount out of your pocket for all three of those things: the premium, deductible, and copays. Now, this is going to sound funny, but it's true. It does not matter at all what the premium of your drug plan is. You say, what do you mean it doesn't matter at all? There's one that's $7.20 this year. There's one I just found out a couple days ago that's going to cost $170 a month. So you say, well, why in the world would anybody want the $170 a month drug plan, Medicare Part D drug plan, believe it or not, that could be the plan that will allow you to spend the least amount out of your pocket. Because remember, it's not just the premium, it's the premium plus the deductible plus the copays added together. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The computer figures all that out for us. You say, well, what do you have to do then to figure out which drug plan is best for me? All we need to do is accurately input, like our lovely young lady who did my introduction, Kelly, one of my 4 indispensable assistants. She is the one who most commonly will input all of your drug information, including the exact name of your drug, whether it's generic or brand name, the dosage of your drug, the number of milligrams, micrograms, or grams, the quantity, maybe 30, the frequency per month, 30 per month, 1 a day. So Kelly usually takes care of all that, although all my ladies are adept in doing that. And so as long as we accurately input all of your drug information, then the computer figures out which of the 32 plans winds up with the lowest total for the combination of your premium, your deductible, and your copays. I felt that was important to take a sidestep on that. So if we go to the middle of this page, broadly eligibility for Part D requires that you be enrolled either in Medicare Part A alone or in Part B alone, which doesn't happen very often, but it does happen, or enrolled in Medicare Parts A and B, which is most commonly the case. Note, for all you veterans out there, if you have VA insurance, you may be best served by not getting a Medicare drug plan. And since VA coverage is deemed by Medicare to be creditable, you will not be penalized if you initially refuse Medicare Part D, but decide later to get Part D. There is no penalty if you have VA drug coverage. There is no penalty for your refusing to get a Medicare drug plan initially when you first become eligible for Medicare, but later on, it could be a month down the road, it could be 10 years down the road. If you want to get a Medicare drug plan in addition to your VA drug plan insurance, you can do that. Now, the VA and Medicare are like oil and water. They do not coordinate benefits. You cannot use them together. You can use them separately. So you may want to go get a hip replacement at the VA and you use your Medicare Part D drug plan to get your drugs, or vice versa. You may want to get a hip replacement through Medicare Part A or B and use your Medicare supplement and get your drugs through the VA. You can do either one, but you cannot mix the coverages with VA and Medicare in your supplement. Again, I hope that was a little clearer than mud. Okay, next. Kelly, I'm going to interrupt myself and ask Kelly if she can come here and tell me how to get this top part of the screen out of the way so I can see the writing underneath it. Do you know how to do that, Kelly? Maybe this foil this here. It's not that big a deal. I can manage without it, but it would be a little easier if I weren't seeing that. It just popped up for some reason. I don't know why that is. Excuse us while we converse among ourselves just a little longer here. Don't worry about it, Kelly.
I'm not sure.
Okay. By the way, we have Ruben Lopez, who is the master behind the curtain, so to speak, using a little Wizard of Oz lingo. Ruben, if you can hear me, if there's a way to get that stuff off the top that says mute, stop video participants and all that stuff, so I can see that, that would be great. If not, don't worry about it. I'll manage somehow. So actions that can be taken during the there's an error there. It should say 2022, not 2021 annual election period, also known as the Medicare Open Enrollment Period. Number one, the first thing you can do, if you have on the left-hand side, if you have Medicare Part B only, let me just make sure we're on the right page here. Oh, hold on. Let's go back. We skipped over this. Let's see here. This is the page we need to be on right here. So actions that can be taken during the 2022 annual election period, also known as the Medicare Open Enrollment Period. If you have Medicare Parts A and B, a Medicare supplement, and a drug plan, number one, you can change your Part D drug plan to a different one, which is a very popular, probably the most popular thing you can do during this time between October 15th through December 7th. The second thing you can do is you can add a Part D drug plan if you currently do not have one. Third thing you can do is you can drop your current Part D drug plan and be left without any drug coverage, which would be a very foolish thing to do. The fourth thing you can do is drop your Medicare supplement. Fifth thing you can do is replace Medicare Parts A and B, your Medicare Part D drug plan, and your Medicare supplement with a Medicare Advantage plan, also known as Medicare Part C, that includes drug coverage. If you remain on a Medicare Advantage plan, that is Part C of Medicare, for longer than 1 year, that is 1 year plus 1 day or longer, you will never be guaranteed, that's the key word, guaranteed, for the rest of your life to get a Medicare supplement unless you qualify for a particular special enrollment period, such as when your Medicare Advantage plan ceases to exist or leaves your geographical area, or if you move to an area in which your Medicare Advantage plan is not offered. That can be with any insurance program, whether it be Kaiser, Anthem Blue Cross, Blue Shield, United Healthcare, HealthNet, Aetna, Brand New Day, any of those. Okay, next page. So now a side-by-side comparison of advantages and disadvantages of having Medicare Parts A, B, D, plus a Medicare supplement versus Part C or Part C plus D. Because remember, I told you that in Kern County, all Part C, to my knowledge, all Part C Medicare Advantage plans also include or incorporate Medicare Part D drug coverage inside of your Part C Medicare Advantage plan. So in other words, you would not receive a separate ID card for your drug plan when you have a Medicare Advantage plan, that is a Part C Medicare Advantage plan here in Kern County, because that one ID card you have with your Medicare for your Medicare Advantage plan is good for any type of services that you use, whether it's going to the doctor, getting your lab work, x-rays, MRI, PET scans, physical therapy, ambulance, urgent care, ER, full-blown hospitalization, pharmacy. You use that one card for your Medicare Advantage plan wherever you get your services. That is not true when you have Medicare Parts A and B, plus a supplement and a drug plan. So let's take a look at the next page here. Okay, so if we look at the very top, here are the differences, the advantages and disadvantages of having, at the very top left, Medicare Parts A and B. Now that's what I have, as I mentioned, Medicare Parts A and B, plus a Medicare supplement. Here's my Medicare supplement card, plus a standalone Medicare Part D drug plan. So you have the benefit is with a Medicare Parts A and B and a supplement and standalone drug plan, you have the freedom to choose any provider that accepts Medicare, which is about 93% of all non-pediatric doctors. I should have put that in there. 93% of all non-pediatric doctors take Medicare Part B, and all hospitals take Medicare Part A, except for the VA, that is the Veterans Administration, and certain specialty hospitals, including Kaiser hospitals. Now, we don't have any Kaiser hospitals in Bakersfield, although San Joaquin is the exclusive hospital for people with Kaiser, unless you are given permission to go to another hospital. So if you're on a Medicare Advantage plan that includes Part D drug coverage, we're looking at the right-hand column, you must choose one primary care doctor to manage all of your care. You normally cannot see a specialist unless you get a referral from your health plan. Now that referral, the approval for that referral normally does not come from your primary doctor. It comes from the medical group you are associated with. So if that's Kaiser that's going to be making the decision. If you are with a medical group called Bakersfield Family Medical Center, then Bakersfield Family Medical Center is going to make that decision normally. And if you're with Gym Care is going to make the decision as to whether or not you're going to be able to see a specialist. Or if you're with the independent medical group is going to make that decision. And if you are with, who am I leaving out? QualCare. If you're with an insurance plan, Medicare Advantage plan that uses QualCare, then QualCare is going to make that decision as to whether you can or cannot see a specialist or receive specialized care. The next thing, Medicare Parts A and B and Medicare Supplement standalone drug plan, you have no network of doctors and hospitals. So unlike a PPO, which has in-network providers and out-of-network providers, believe it or not, Medicare Parts A and B and your supplement have no network. Either a doctor takes Medicare or a doctor doesn't take Medicare. There is no in-network and out-of-network doctor. And all hospitals take Medicare, except, as I mentioned, VA hospitals and specialty hospitals like Kaiser. Okay, with Medicare Advantage, that includes Medicare Part D drug coverage, you have a limited network of doctors and hospitals. You do have a network. And you must, in order to get your benefits paid to the greatest extent possible, you must stay within that network. Next item, for the Medicare Parts A and B plus a supplement and standalone drug plan, you have the freedom to access any Medicare provider in all 50 states. With a Medicare Advantage plan that includes Medicare Part D drug coverage, generally you must access all of your care within the county, within the county in which you live, except for urgencies or emergencies. So in other words, regardless of the Medicare Advantage plan you are on, generally, there are exceptions, but generally you must have all of your care in Kern County, unless you're given permission, and that is not the norm, unless you're given permission to go outside, maybe to UCLA or USC or someplace like that. Okay, Medicare Parts A and B plus a supplement and a standalone drug plan. There, at bottom left, there are only 11 standardized Medicare supplements nationwide, only 8 standardized plans for those who get Medicare on or after January 1st of 2020. What is that all about? Well, from 1966, when Medicare started, until 1992, insurance companies selling Medicare supplements could design and market their own unique Medicare supplements with their own bells and whistles, and with very little rules and regulations and oversight by the state or federal government. But all of that changed in 1992, at which point all insurance companies selling Medicare supplements could no longer offer their own unique plans with their own bells and whistles, their own Medicare supplement plans. They had to start abiding by a standardization of Medicare supplement plans. So in 1992, there were 11, and there still are 11 if you qualified for Medicare before January of 2020. There are still 11 standardized plans to choose from in 47 out of 50 states. We say, well, who are the three states that don't have this standardization? Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Massachusetts. Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Massachusetts, they have their own unique form of standardized plans. All other 47 states offer the exact same 11 if you turn 65, if you got Medicare, if you got Medicare before January of 2020, 11 standardized plans. And if you got Medicare after January of 2020, 8 standardized plans. And with a Medicare Advantage plan that includes Part D drug coverage, bottom right side, it says there are currently about 15 to 20 Medicare Advantage plans in Kern County. That is this year, 2021. Okay, moving on, the comparison between having Medicare Parts A and B plus a supplement plus a standalone Medicare drug plan versus having a Medicare Advantage Part C plan that includes a Part D drug plan, Medicare Part D drug coverage. Okay, on the left-hand top, it says if you have Medicare Parts A and B plus supplement plus standalone drug plan with any particular Medicare supplement, coverage is identical between insurers. That is, there are only 11 standardized Medicare supplements in the nation to choose from, except for Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Massachusetts. And remember, the 11 standardized plans applies to those who got any part of Medicare Part A or B before January of 2020. And I should have mentioned only 8 standardized plans for those of you who qualified for Medicare on or after January 1st of 2020. On the right-hand side of the column regarding Medicare Advantage, that includes Part D drug coverage, coverages vary greatly between insurance companies that offer Medicare Advantage plans. In other words, there is no uniformity or standardization of Medicare Advantage plans like there is with Medicare supplements. So insurers have the liberality, I think that's a word, isn't it, to include enhanced benefits for certain areas of Medicare coverage, like, for example, office visits, and to include reduced benefits for other areas of Medicare coverage, for example, skilled nursing facilities. Left-hand column regarding having Medicare Parts A and B and a Medicare supplement and drug plan with 3 out of the 11 standardized Medicare supplements that I personally recommend. The annual out-of-pocket maximums, in other words, the worst that can happen to you out of your pocket during the course of a calendar year with one of the 3 plans I recommend is 0. With the second of 3 plans I recommend, the worst that can happen to you out of your pocket during the course of the calendar year is $203 and $2,370 for the least expensive plan that I recommend. You say, wow, that's a big difference, all the way from 0 out of pocket to $2,370. You're absolutely correct. Now, why is it that I only recommend 3 of those 11? Because all of the other 8 of the standardized plans, or if you turned 65 on or after January of 2020, all of the other 6 out of 8 will all impose a 15% surcharge on you. You say 15% of what? 15% surcharge of the Medicare approved amount, or also known as the Medicare allowed amount, and some people call it the Medicare approved payment. Let me give you an example. Let's say you go to the doctor, and let's say your office visit charge is billed to Medicare at $200 for the office visit. So Medicare gets the bill for $200 from your doctor, and Medicare looks at the billing codes on that bill and determines, based on the billing codes, how much of that $200 office visit charge Medicare is going to allow. Typically, on average, Medicare allows about half of the billed amount. So if the bill from the doctor is $200, Medicare is generally going to approve $100, around $100 of that. So let's say that's the case. $100 is the Medicare approved amount. Well, if you have a type of Medicare supplement that will impose that 15% surcharge, if that Medicare approved amount is $100, then you're going to pay 15% of the 100, which is $15. You say, well, that's not too bad. Well, it's not too bad if the Medicare approved amount is 100, but what happens if it's an anesthesiologist and the bill is $20,000 and Medicare approves half of that, $10,000? What is 15% of $10,000? That's $1,500. Ouch. Now it becomes real money, huh? Okay, so I know, let me stop right now and say, I know some of this can seem to be, and it is indeed convoluted. There's a lot of stuff going on here. So I always recommend that you consult with a Medicare professional. Doesn't have to be us. There are others out there who are very well versed in Medicare. Instead of getting advice from your neighbors or friends or relatives or coworkers about Medicare, don't do that. Do not do that. You're going to get enough truth that can be very, very dangerous to you. let me just give you one example. This happened a couple of years ago. I had a gentleman call me late Friday, and he had to have a procedure done he's scheduled to have a procedure done the next Monday at USC Medical Center. And he just got notified that he was going to have to pay cash for that procedure. Why? And he called me for help. He wanted to know what he could do. Because some friend of his, he was with a very large governmental agency that has retiree plans for their employees. Some coworker, friend of his said, hey, don't get Medicare Part B because you'll have to pay a premium for it. Plus the retiree plan through this very large governmental agency with which this guy worked for several years has very, very good coverage. This friend advised him, you don't need to get Medicare Part B, just get Medicare Part A. After all, there is no cost for Medicare Part A. Well, guess what? This guy had scheduled a very expensive outpatient procedure at USC Medical Center. And guess under which part of Medicare is outpatient stuff covered, including outpatient surgery, Part B of Medicare, which his buddy told him not to get so he wouldn't have to pay a premium. And here the guy's scheduled for a very important outpatient surgery, and he has zero coverage because he does not have Medicare Part B. And he called us to see what he could do about that. And guess what? The only effective date you can have for any part of Medicare is the first of a month. So he had to wait. Actually, he did not enroll in Medicare Part B in a timely way, so he could not get Medicare Part B the first of the month. He had to wait all the way until the next January, between January 1st through March 31st, before he could apply, not get, but apply for Medicare Part B, only to have his Medicare Part B effective the following July 1st. Now, how's that for Medicare advice? Don't let friends or coworkers or relatives give you Medicare advice. Okay, then the last line here, what does it say? It says regarding you're having Medicare Parts A and B plus a Medicare supplement and standalone drug plan, it gives you the complete portability and continuity of coverage when you travel or move to any other county or state. Your coverage, at least with a couple of the insurance companies that we recommend, your coverage will remain the same. It will not change at all. And under Medicare Advantage, the last paragraph on the bottom right-hand side, there is rarely portability or continuity of coverage when you travel or move to another county or state with your Medicare Advantage plan. Because remember, when you have a Medicare Advantage Part C plan, there is no standardization of plans like there is when you have a Medicare supplement, except for Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Massachusetts. Okay, so with a Medicare Advantage plan, since there is rarely portability or continuity of coverage when you travel or move to another state, you normally must change when your plan you normally must change your plan and pick a new primary care doctor when you move. All right. Again, comparing a Medicare supplement with Medicare Parts A and B plus a Medicare supplement and a drug plan versus Medicare Advantage with a Part D drug plan with California's birthday rule, which was an assembly bill that passed in 1992. You can change your Medicare supplement each year within 30 days of your birthday to a plan of equal or lesser value. You can apply to change your drug plan between October 15th and December 7th with a new plan effective date of January 1st. Let me say that another way. The Medicare Open Enrollment Period is not a time that you are guaranteed to be able to change from one Medicare supplement, also known as a Medigap plan, from one Medicare supplement to another. That is not the purpose of the Medicare Open Enrollment Period between October 15th and December 7th. It is not to change your Medicare supplement from one to another. You can only do that during the California birthday rule, which is anytime within, now it says 30 days. Now that would have been true a few months ago, but I forgot to change this. The law was just improved to 60 days, 60 days before your birthday and up to 60 days after your birthday. You have the guaranteed right and privilege to change from your current Medicare supplement plan that you're on with one specific Medicare supplement insurance company to another insurance company with the same Medicare supplement. Because remember, all Medicare supplements are standardized throughout all states except for Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Massachusetts. Okay, under a Medicare Advantage Plan arrangement, including Medicare Part D drug coverage, unless you are subject to any number of special enrollment periods, you may only change your drug plan during the Medicare Open Enrollment Period, which is between, pardon me, October 15th and December 7th. Actually, there is something else that recently happened, and I mentioned a little earlier. Also, between January 1st and March 31st, which is now called the Medicare Advantage Disenrollment Period, you can also change from one Medicare Advantage plan to another Medicare Advantage plan, or you can drop your Medicare Advantage plan, that is disenroll from it, and get Medicare Parts A and B, plus a Medicare Part D drug plan, plus apply for a Medicare supplement. If we look back to the left-hand column, the middle of the column says all Medicare supplements and standalone drug plans charge a monthly premium. That would be a disadvantage with having a Medicare supplement and standalone drug plan. A disadvantage compared to what? Well, compared to a Medicare Advantage plan, if you look to the right column in the middle, it says in Kern County for 2019, and this is still true in 2021, most popular Medicare Advantage plans have a monthly premium of $0 to $73 a month. Looking back to the left column, very bottom, having Medicare Parts A and B plus a Medicare supplement and a Medicare drug plan. Most Medicare supplement plans offer no ancillary benefits like free gym memberships, hearing aid discounts, and preventive dental benefits. Compared to, on the right-hand side, corresponding having a Medicare Advantage plan with drug coverage. Many Medicare Advantage plans, in fact, I would say most plans offer the ancillary benefits such as free gym memberships, hearing aid discounts, and preventive dental benefits. Well, you might say, well, why in the world wouldn't I want to get a Medicare Advantage plan that gives me a free gym membership? Now, some gyms are not open anymore because of COVID, or hearing aid discounts or preventive dental benefits. Well, it depends really what it boils down to. The choice of having Medicare Parts A and B on the left-hand side, plus a Medicare supplement and a standalone drug plan versus having a Medicare Advantage plan, which typically with most plans in Kern County that have a zero premium, here's what it boils down to. It really boils down to how important is it to you to have the complete freedom to be able to go to any doctor or hospital that takes Medicare versus not having that freedom, that is with a Medicare Advantage plan, to be able to go to any doctor or hospital that offers, that takes Medicare. That's really what it boils down to. So there are trade-offs of having Medicare Parts A and B plus a Medicare supplement and drug plan versus, on the right-hand side, having a Medicare Advantage, that is a Medicare Part C plan that does offer, usually offers the ancillary benefits like the gym membership, hearing aid discounts, and preventive dental benefits. Now, speaking of ancillary benefits, Medicare Parts A and B do not cover any form of dental benefits as we know them to be. That is your teeth cleanings, office visits, your x-rays, your fillings, root canals, crowns, bridges, dentures, all of that stuff are not covered by Medicare, with a couple little exceptions. Number one, If you have an accident to a sound natural tooth, that would be covered by Medicare, just like it would be covered with any health plan, any health insurance plan. Like if you're in a car wreck and you hit your teeth on the steering wheel, you break a couple of sound natural teeth, that's covered by your health plan, as long as it's an accident to a sound natural tooth. Medicare covers that also. But for decay and stuff like that, no, Medicare does not cover that. The other thing that Medicare covers for dental, let's say you have jaw cancer, and let's say your jaw needs to be broken open, and let's say it's affected your teeth. If they have to pull your teeth in the course of getting rid of your jaw cancer, then the replacement of teeth would be a covered expense under Medicare. All right, let's see what the next page says. I think this is the last, yeah, this is the last page in our comparison. So on the left-hand column, having Medicare Parts A and B plus a Medicare supplement and a standalone Part D drug plan, versus on the right-hand column, having a Medicare Advantage plan that includes Medicare Part D drug coverage. Let's take a look at the comparison. On the left-hand side top, an agent receives compensation of about $30 a month. This is a rough average, $30 a month for selling a Medicare supplement plan, an average of about $360 during the first year of sale. The agent normally continues to get this monthly amount over the next 6 to 12 years with most insurance companies. Now, some insurance companies pay commissions for the life of the contract. Most do not, however. Versus having a Medicare Advantage plan along with a Medicare Part D drug plan incorporated in it. In California, an agent can receive an annual lump sum of about $672. That's annually for each Medicare Advantage Part C plan sold, and usually continues to receive annual compensation of about half the initial annual amount of about $336. This compensation can increase each year as determined by the federal government. Can you believe that the federal government dictates with these Medicare Advantage plans how much insurance agents can make, the maximum they can make? But you can see that the amount that an insurance agent makes selling a Medicare Advantage plan is greater, almost, in fact, a little more than twice as much on average that an insurance agent will make selling a Medicare supplement. That's why some insurance agents only prefer to sign people up for Medicare Advantage plans, because the compensation is greater, especially the first year. Actually, the second year, during the first year. So the last thing is completing an application. It takes about 30 minutes for an insurance agent to complete a Medicare supplement and drug plan application, compared to a Medicare Advantage plan. It takes about 15 minutes because there are far fewer areas. The application is a lot smaller. There are far fewer areas to complete with a Medicare Advantage plan. Okay, so that is the end of our presentation. It's about 5 minutes till 7. We've gone almost an hour. So at this point, I would like to entertain any questions that you might have. And Kelly is going to bring me some questions right now. And let's take a look at those. Okay, so the first question is, do you pay a premium for Part C and still pay for Part B? Well, the answer is a qualified yes. Now remember, Part C is also known as Medicare Advantage. The vast majority of Medicare Advantage plans, in fact, to my knowledge, all but one or maybe two of the roughly 15 to 17 Medicare Advantage plans, maybe a little more than that, but I think it's right around there, 15 to 17 of Medicare Advantage plans do not charge any premium. You pay zero, but you still have to pay a premium for Medicare Part B. Why? Because in order to get either a Medicare supplement, you must have Medicare Parts A and B. In order to get a Medicare Advantage plan, that is also known as Medicare Part C, you also must have Medicare Parts A and B to get a Medicare Advantage plan. Well, if you have Part B, you must pay a premium. The standard premium this year is $148.50 a month. When I say standard premium, what does that mean? That means any individual whose income, after he or she takes his or her tax deductions, as long as that income is $88,000 a year or less, then you will pay $148.50 for your Medicare Part B coverage. If you're a couple, the income is doubled. So 88,000 times 2 for the couple is $176,000 for the year. And by the way, Medicare and Social Security are looking back 2 years from this year. So they're not looking at your 2021 income. They're not looking at your 2020 income. They're looking at your 2019 income as the default year for determining what your Medicare Part B as in boy premium will be for this year, 2021. Kind of weird, huh? People say, why is that? Well, obviously nobody has completed his or her 2021 tax return because 2021 is not up yet. And some people have not completed their 2020 return, which I just did because I was on extension for some very good reasons. But most people have completed their 2019 return. That's why Social Security looks 2 years back to determine what your premium will be for this year, 2021. Well, I just lied to you intentionally for the third time, at least during this presentation, because I told you that everybody must pay a premium for Medicare Part B. Although I think I mentioned earlier, the exception is if you are at or below or a little bit above the federal poverty level, you will not have to pay a premium for your Medicare Part B. But anybody who is substantially above the poverty level will have to pay a premium for their Medicare Part B. And guess what? And some people get very upset about what I'm about to tell you. Thanks to one George W. Bush, who signed what I'm about to tell you into law in 2006. He signed into law that said that, let me back up. Before 2006, before George W. signed this into law, before 2006, everybody who had Medicare paid the exact same premium for Medicare Part B as in boy. It didn't matter if you were had a mediocre income or were a billionaire. Everybody paid the same premium for Part B. But former President George W. Bush said that, hey, those of you who are higher income earners are going to have to pay a higher premium for not only your Medicare Part B. Actually, pardon me, that's all George W. said. He said, you're only going to have to pay a higher premium for your Medicare Part B. You say, how high is high? Well, for this year, for anybody who had income that was, for a single person, $500,000 in 2019 or more, you say, well, heck, not very many people have that income. I know, but there are a lot of people that do. I didn't say most. A lot of people that do. Instead of having to pay $148.50 for your Medicare Part B, would have to pay a total of $582. Well, I would say that's a little higher than $148.50, about 3.5 times more exact, to be exact. And for a couple, instead of paying a total of $148 for each of you, for a couple making $750,000 a year or more in 2019, that couple for their Medicare Part B, along with their Medicare drug plan surcharge, yes, there is a Medicare drug plan surcharge for higher income earners, thanks to former President Obama, who signed into law in 2011 a law that says that, hey, you people who are higher income earners, and by the way, there are 6 categories of higher income earners, are going to have to pay not only a higher premium for your Medicare Part B as in boy, but for Part D, your drug plan, believe it or not. Like I said, some people get very upset about that. So for a couple whose income in 2019 was $750,000 a year or more, would have to pay a premium for their Medicare Part B and including their Part D surcharge of $1,164 a month. Yep, you heard it right, $1,164 a month. And that does not even include the Medicare supplement and drug plan. How do you like that? So some people get upset about that. Now, by the way, if you are a business owner, I'm not trying to play tax person with you here or accountant with you, but talk to your tax advisor to see about getting a deduction for your Medicare Part B premium. And if you are a higher income earner, for your Medicare Part D surcharge, as well as a tax deduction for your Medicare supplement and a tax deduction for your Medicare Part D drug plan. Talk to your accountant about that. Okay, that's question number one. Question number two, will we be able to get a copy of the PowerPoint? Oof, that is a good question. I tell you what, Kelly, tell me what you think about this. Kelly knows what I'm going to say. Now, normally when we were meeting in person, we would have a copy of the PowerPoint. If you want a copy of the PowerPoint, email us and we will send you a copy of the PowerPoint. How does that sound? Okay, next question. And by the way, our email address for those of you who failed to jot it down is office@health-savings.com, office@health-savings.com. Okay, before we go to the next question, if you do have a question, feel free to ask it right now. We've got, we'll take however long it takes for those of you who do want to ask questions. So our next question is, are these features of Part A and B only if you include a supplement and a standalone Part D drug plan? Okay, I think I understand the question. Medicare Part A and B does not vary in coverage at all, whether you have a Medicare supplement or not. The coverage under Part B is the same, but here's the difference between having only Medicare Parts A and B versus having Medicare Part A and B plus a supplement. If you only have Medicare Part A and B with no supplement, your calendar year out-of-pocket exposure could be over $900,000 during the year. Now, that is highly unlikely to happen, but even 10% of that $900,000 is not an exposure you want to have. And why not have a Medicare supplement for right now? One of our favorite companies has a premium cost of $30 a month for somebody who's 65, $30 a month for a plan that would limit your calendar year out-of-pocket exposure this year, 2021, to $2,370 for the calendar year. Well, $2,370 exposure is a heck of a lot less than $900,000. So there's very little excuse, in my opinion, for somebody not to have a plan, Medicare supplement plan, that only costs $30 a month. So here's my point. Having Medicare Part A and B, you're exposed to a little over $900,000 a year. Having Medicare Parts A and B plus a supplement, you still have the same coverage under Medicare Parts A and B, but adding a supplement will limit that exposure, that coverage that you have under Medicare Parts A and B. Again, I hope that was a little clearer than mud. Okay, next question says this: is there coverage if you are traveling overseas? And what if we stay 6 to 9 months? Life should be so good, whoever you are, staying 6 to 9 months overseas. I don't know if that's a vacation or if it's for work or whatever it is. So here's the way it works. Medicare covers this much overseas. Now, when I say overseas, I shouldn't say overseas. I should say outside of the United States. That can be overseas. Well, Canada is not overseas, neither is Mexico, neither is Baja California. Medicare covers zero when you are outside of the United States. You say, what? Zero? That's even if you have an emergency. You have zero coverage under Medicare Part A and Medicare Part B. However, if you have Medicare Part C, that's a Medicare Advantage plan, or a Medicare supplement, that's the freedom of choice plan, you will have, with the vast majority of plans, I don't know of any plan that does not have this benefit I'm getting ready to tell you about. If you have a Medicare Advantage plan or a Medicare supplement, with certain Medicare supplements and certain vast majority of Medicare Advantage plans, you have up to $50,000. Now, there are some exceptions. Some of the companies are getting creative and only have 30 or 25 or 30 or $35,000. But with most of the plans that offer a foreign country travel benefit, you have up to $50,000. You say, what, for each time I go overseas? No, no, over your lifetime. $50,000 over your lifetime. So for example, right now, for anybody turning 65 on or after January of 2020 who has Medicare Supplement Plan G or G Plus, those are the only two plans that I normally, there are a couple exceptions, but I normally recommend Plan G and G Plus, or also known as high deductible Plan G. Each of those plans has a $50,000 travel benefit, which is a separate benefit from what you have with your Medicare supplement. When I say separate benefit, how does that work? Foreign travel benefit has a $250 deductible. Then the insurance company pays 80%. You pay 20% of the Medicare approved payment. And the insurance company continues to pay 80% until the insurance company has spent, when and if the insurance company has spent $50,000 on you, and then the insurance company, when and if the insurance company has spent that $50,000, says, adios, sayonara, also bis später, dos vidania. They don't pay anymore after that $50,000, so you're done. I always tell people, hey, even though you may have a Medicare Advantage plan and a Medicare supplement that has a foreign travel benefit, say a $50,000, get travel insurance. Travel insurance is very inexpensive. And for example, my wife and I, we took a trip to Greece about 5 years ago. Is it 5 years ago? Yeah, I think 5 years ago. Each of us got a plan with $1 million in medical benefits for the 2 weeks we were in Greece. And we had all sorts of frills, every single frill on our travel insurance benefit. And we paid a little over $400 for including both of us. That included each of us. And so travel insurance is a very rich benefit, which costs very little because the insurance company knows it's going to be on the hook for a short period of time. That's why it can offer great benefits for a very low cost. Let's see what the next question is. Can you change your Part C to traditional Medicare Part A and B at any time? That is a wonderful question. The answer is no. You can only change from a Part C Medicare Advantage plan if you are granted a special enrollment period. Well, we have two special enrollment periods that allow you to do just that. And one of them is the special enrollment period that we're talking about, which is the Medicare annual election period. That is the so-called Medicare Open Enrollment Period. That is actually a special enrollment period with Medicare. So between October 15th through December 7th, you have the right to disenroll from your Medicare Advantage plan and return to Medicare Parts A and B, because remember, those of you who have or will have a Medicare Advantage plans, even though you have a card, just like I do, that says Medicare Parts A and B, you are not covered by this card, by Medicare Parts A and B, if you have a Medicare Advantage plan. Why are you not covered by Medicare Parts A and B? Because you're only covered by the insurance company that you're with, not by Medicare. But if you disenroll from your Medicare Advantage plan, you have the guaranteed right to return to Medicare Parts A and B anytime between October 15th and December 7th, or also between January 1st through March 31st. And you can also, after you disenroll from your Medicare Advantage plan and return to Medicare Parts A and B, you have the guaranteed right to be able to add a Medicare drug plan, that is Medicare Part D for drugs, as well as you can apply for a Medicare supplement, which would give you the freedom of choice of being able to choose any doctor that takes Medicare, unlike a Medicare Advantage plan, which does not give you that freedom of choice. So let me say something, and I don't mean to come across, if it seems to you that I'm talking in a negative way about Medicare Advantage plans, that is not my intention. I just showed you the facts, the comparison between having Medicare Parts A and B, plus a Medicare supplement, plus a standalone Medicare Part D drug plan, versus having a Medicare Advantage plan that includes a drug coverage. The advantages, the main advantages with Medicare Advantage is normally the premium is zero. You have ancillary benefits that are not offered by Parts A and B and a Medicare supplement. But on the other hand, even though you don't have the ancillary benefits with Medicare Parts A and B and a supplement, you do have the freedom to be able to choose any provider that accepts Medicare, unlike the case with a Medicare Advantage plan. Let's see what the next question is. What is a PPO? PPO stands for Preferred Provider Organization. Now, there is or was, I'm not sure if it even exists any longer. There was one Medicare Advantage plan that is or was a PPO. I have never recommended that plan again. I don't even know if it still exists, because there were very few doctors that were included as PPO doctors with that Medicare Advantage plan. Plus, the cost was horrendously high compared to what you could get with a Medicare supplement. And a Medicare supplement is not a PPO. You say, wait a second, I thought a Medicare supplement is a PPO. No, a lot. In fact, I would say probably most doctors' offices refer to a Medicare supplement as a PPO, but a Medicare supplement is better than a PPO. Why? Because PPO stands for Preferred Provider Organization, which means that you have in-network doctors and you have out-of-network doctors and other types of providers besides doctors as well, in and out of network. Well, when you have Medicare Parts A and B plus a Medicare supplement, these two guys are Siamese twins. You always use them together no matter where you go, except to the pharmacy, in which case you would have a separate standalone Medicare drug plan. Okay, so my point is this. Medicare Parts A and B and your supplement are not a PPO, because PPOs have networks. Medicare Parts A and B and your Medicare supplement have no networks, which is a good thing, because you have a choice of 100% of all hospitals in the United States when you have Medicare Parts A and B plus a supplement, except for VA hospitals and specialty hospitals or Kaiser hospitals. Okay, I hope that was a little clearer than mud as well. I love using that expression in case you didn't notice. And do we have any more, Kelly?
We do.
Okay, here we go. Can people on disability purchase a supplement? Another great question. People under age 65 can qualify for Medicare if they're rendered to be disabled under the definition of Social Security disability. What is the definition of disability by Social Security? It says that you must be unable to be employed in any gainful occupation in the United States. Now, I've often wondered how in the world some people qualify for Social Security disability. I've met with a lot of people who have Social Security disability, and I wondered how in the world did that person qualify for Social Security disability? In my opinion, that person could go out and be gainfully employed. So there is fraud. But my point is this. Once you qualify for Social Security disability, after 24 months of your date of disability, you will automatically qualify for Medicare Parts A and B, and you will be guaranteed within 6 months of getting Medicare Parts A and B to get a Medicare supplement. That is a California, actually it's a federal law, and it's just true in California as well. So yes, you can get, the question was again, where'd the question go? So can people on disability purchase a Medicare supplement? Yes, as long as you enroll in a supplement within 6 months of getting Medicare Part B, you can get a Medicare supplement. Next question.
Right here. These are the last four.
Okay, thank you so much. Kelly is doing a wonderful job. Let's give Kelly a round of applause. Thank you very much, Kelly. Okay, and the next question, we've got 5 more. We might hit some more. Okay, the next question, we enrolled in a supplement in Kern County. We moved to Madera County. Do we need to make changes? That is a very, very, boy, you guys are asking good questions. The answer is, it depends on from which insurance company you got your Medicare supplement. The insurance company that we most highly recommend, it doesn't matter where you move to, you are able to keep the rates here in Kern County, which are among the very lowest in the entire United States. Believe it or not, they are with the company that we most highly recommend. So it wouldn't matter if you move to Madera County or Alaska or New York or Florida, wherever you move, either semi-permanently or permanently, you can keep the same exact plan and the same exact rate structure that you have here in Kern County without having to pay more to the area that you're moving to. Okay, what is the next question? We've got about another 5 or 6 minutes to go here. The question is, I am on Medicare A and B since January of 2020. So almost a couple of years ago. I thought my prescription Express Scripts plan had drug coverage, so I did not sign up for Plan D. And what this person means to say is Part D. It's a Part D drug plan. Can I sign up for Plan D with Part D in October so I am covered for prescription drugs? The answer is yes. How do I go about this? If so, and what would the cost be? Very good question. Okay, so I think what this person is saying, this person must have had health insurance coverage probably through a group plan, through a former employer that was using Express Scripts as its mail order, or maybe even Express Scripts for its pharmacy, going directly to the pharmacy coverage. So that person, if that was the case, that person thought, well, I must have Part D because I have Express Scripts and I'm just going to keep it. Well, I'm not, there may be some things I'm not being made aware of here, but regardless, you have the ability, whoever asked this question, if you do not have a Medicare Part D drug plan, so remember, D for drugs is not only a part, it is a plan unto itself. So this drug plan that I have right here is not only my drug plan, it is a bona fide part of Medicare Part D. So this guy is a 2-in-1 guy. It is a part and a plan. So yes, you can apply for a Medicare Part D drug plan anytime between October 15th through December 7th. That is correcto mundo. Next question, if you have VA benefits, should you still get Part B? If you have VA benefits, I recommend that you have Medicare Parts A and B. Now, there is no law that says that anybody has to have Medicare Parts A and B. Never. But hey, hold on. You could be very foolish if you don't get Medicare Parts A and B, but there are times that you would be foolish to get Medicare Parts A and B. For example, if you're working beyond age 65 and have a health savings account compatible health plan, you cannot have any part of Medicare and continue to contribute to your health savings account. I have met with some very intelligent people, what's the word I'm thinking of here? People who handle the benefits for very large employers who did not know that are contributing to health savings accounts, and they have Part A. That is against the law. You cannot have any part of Medicare and contribute to your health savings account. So the question is, if you have VA benefits, should you still get Part B? You should get Part A and B. If you just type in, if I have VA coverage, should I have Medicare Parts A and B? You're going to see the preponderance of answers are yes. Why? Because first of all, what happens if you want to get a knee replacement or hip replacement at the VA, and let's say you have to wait 2.5 months to get it, or 6 months, or whatever. If you have Medicare Parts A and B, and you want to go to Cedars-Sinai or USC or Stanford or UCLA or someplace out of state to get your knee replacement or hip surgery, you can go anywhere you want to go. You're not restricted. You can go to any 100% of all hospitals except for VA and Kaiser and specialty hospitals take Medicare. So you have the freedom not to go to the VA. However, if you have Medicare Parts A and B, if you want to go to Cedars-Sinai for your hip replacement and then go to the VA a few months later for your knee replacement, you can do that. You just cannot use Medicare and the VA together. They do not coordinate benefits. You have to use them separately. Okay, hope that answered your question. And the next to last question is, I have VA coverage but do not get prescriptions at VA. Can I get a Part D drug plan? Absolutely. You can use the VA for your drug coverage, and you can have a Medicare drug plan at the same time. It's just that you cannot use the VA and Medicare Part D to get the same drug and think that your coverage is going to coordinate one with the other. They do not coordinate benefits. So if you want to get one drug, let's say you get a real expensive drug through the VA and you're paying a real low copay, 10 or 15 bucks for, let's say you're on Xarelto, a very expensive blood thinner, and you want to get that through the VA and pay a very low cost. I'm not saying that would happen, but you know, it could happen. Instead of paying a very high copay on your Medicare drug plan, you can go to the VA and get that drug. Now, here's the thing. You have to have a VA doctor prescribe it. You cannot have a private doctor prescribe a drug that is administered through the VA. You have to have a VA doctor prescribe it. That can be a problem. What if your private practice doctor says, hey, Joe Blow, you need this particular drug, but your VA doctor says, no, 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 I don't think you need that. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? That could be a problem. So you can have a Medicare drug plan, Medicare Part D drug plan, and VA drug coverage simultaneously, but you cannot use them together. You have to use them separately, one for one drug, one for another drug. Okay, last question that I see here. If I'm traveling out of state and have a Medicare Advantage plan, how do I get medical if needed? You are always covered for emergencies and urgencies with any Medicare Advantage plan. That is guaranteed. That is federal law. So it doesn't matter whether you're in Arkansas, New York, or someplace other than Kern County in California, you will be covered if you have an emergency or an urgency that is medically necessary that must be tended to. Well, what happens if you have a hernia and you can wait? You may think it's urgent, but is your insurance company going to think it's urgent? I don't know. That's up to the insurance company. So that's one of the issues that you could face, not will or would, with a Medicare Advantage plan. Unlike with Medicare, you have the freedom, whether it's urgent or not, to go any place in the United States. If you're in Arkansas and you have a hernia, you want to, and your cousin says, hey, I know this doctor in downtown, whatever, Arkansas, that's a great general surgeon. Well, you can go there, no problem. If you have Medicare Parts A and B and a supplement, you wouldn't necessarily be able to do that if you were with a Medicare Advantage plan. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is about the end. So for those of you who would like to make an appointment, remember we recommend that you call us about 2 to 3 months before turning 65, 3 months max, but you don't want to call us 4 months or longer because things can change. You could add medications to your list. Insurance premiums can change with different insurance companies. 2 or 3 months, calling us 2 to 3 months in advance is sufficient. Most likely you'll speak with Kelly, who is assisting me this evening, and she is wonderful. You're going to see she's very even keeled. She's going to ask you very easy to answer questions, and she will tell you exactly what you need to do and by when you need to do it, because her knowledge of Medicare is paralleled with mine. She is very, very adept in Medicare, just like I am. So call us about 2 to 3 months before turning 65, no further out than 3 months. And you can call us at 398-2298. Here's a little selfless promotion here, selfish promotion actually, 398-2298. Or if you're out of the area, and want to call us toll free, 888-201-2386, 888-201-2386. Or if you'd like to email us, you can email us at our office email address, office@health-savings.com, office@health-savings.com. Also, don't forget, you're going to be emailed tomorrow an evaluation form. Please evaluate the presentation. That's very important to Valley Strong Credit Union. And we also want to thank Valley Strong Credit Union for allowing us to be of service to you, an educational service to you. And we're very blessed to be able to do this, as we have, I think, going on our 3rd year now. So with that, thank you very much for joining us this evening. If you intended to ask a question, or if you wanted to ask a question but didn't have the time to do so, or if you're with somebody who's already left that wanted to ask a question, feel free to email us or call us to ask your question. There's no obligation. By the way, very important, we do not charge any fees for our services. You say, how can that be? How do you make money? When and if we sell a Medicare supplement or a drug plan, the insurance company pays us a fee. And that's how we make our money. So our hope is, by the educational process that we put you through, that you will feel compelled to do business with us as opposed to somebody down the street. That's really it. We do not charge any fees for our consultations or for our phone, whether we have appointments by phone. We do conduct appointments by phone or by Zoom if you prefer, or face-to-face. And all of my ladies, except Nestle, who just got licensed the other day and passed her test the first time, but Kelly, Lynn, and Christine also have the ability to conduct appointments just like I. So we can conduct appointments face-to-face, by phone, or by Zoom. So with that, thank you again for joining us this evening. And we'll be holding another workshop, hopefully, in the springtime, and it'll be a different twist with a lot of the sitcom characters from the 60s. So with that, thank you and have a blessed, terrific evening.